What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video after a day of React content. That's right. No one out there loves React content more than your boy Duty. So much so that I probably watched maybe 10 minutes of it, shut it off, and went out and touched grass on Sunday. But of course, I'm here to provide some commentary on the daily rap to see how Phil did. And by the way, just looking at this picture, man, our boy Phil is losing it. Look at his hair. Oh my lord. I just noticed how thin he got right there. That patch in the front, that little horseshoe. Um yeah, man, it looks pretty bad there. Anyway, let's see what Phil had to say on the daily rap.
September 2024, the first day of autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere, and it was a nice day. We actually had cooler weather than the day before. Day 2 of me testing these blackout curtains that I have here in the office, and I was messing with some lighting and stuff to try to make sure that I still had air circulation and I was cool, but at the same time that the setup looked good behind me. And basically, we're getting through this. We're learning on the fly, okay? So what was today? It was React Day. Every Sunday is React Day, where we break up the gaming content and instead do another variety of content. And so on the podcast this morning, I honestly didn't have many major topics to talk about. There was drama to address. There were no announcements to make. There was no gaming news to talk about. So instead, I did something I haven't done in a very long time. I opened the suggestion box for the first time in 2 months. And we took some suggestions, some of which were still pertinent, some of which I had already done in the last 2 months, which didn't really know that they were suggestions. And some, sadly, were outdated because of the way that things have changed for me in the last 2 months. But it was good. It was fun to bring in the constructive criticism. It was good to bring in different perspectives. And it was actually a good podcast, in my opinion. I actually highlighted 2 moments. The first, someone actually saying that I should be nicer to my detractors. And when they say stuff on the streams, I shouldn't insult them because that's what they want to make content. And I addressed that directly. And then the other thing I addressed is, should I make a new YouTube channel to either separate the podcast from my gameplay or to separate clips and highlights from my main channels? I address all of that. So if you're interested in any of those answers, you can either watch the whole podcast in its entirety, or I clipped those out and I will have clips of those on the DSP Gaming channel later tonight. Okay?
All right, no need to do that because I took a look at his numbers for those videos, and about 100 people watched it. So, if you're curious, just hear my synopsis here. So, yeah, suggestion box did come back. It's been a while, and the two suggestion Phil talked about is, of course, the man just can't help himself and can't be fucking honest. What the guy said is, let me address the first issue regarding the detractors being nice to the detractors. The guy didn't say that. The guy didn't say that at all. What the guy said was, essentially, ignore them. Why are you giving attention to the detractors? Why, when a detractor does something or says something or has a video, why are you constantly addressing it? And it's the stupidest things. I mean, like the steak issue, where people were memeing Phil because he kept saying steak. And he had a bug up his ass because detractors were making a meme out of it. And of course, his tism didn't allow him to understand the meme, which typically happens. And what the guy said in the suggestion box was, just let it go, man. Who cares? If you talk about on your stream that your detractors have no power over you, right? That you don't care what the detractors do. This is a no free zone, no drama, free drama zone, right? Then you should live to those ideals and not continuously address detractors. He did it yesterday. He did it yesterday. He talked about the detractors and their meme, and how, you know, we're mentally stunted, and he actually called us the hard R word, which is a separate video that I want to do here because apparently our boy Phil tongue is pretty loose lately. Thank in part to the Kino Casino fellas giving our boy Phil plenty of heart to say whatever that comes to his mind and not filter himself. So that's what the guy was talking about. He was talking about just not addressing every single thing your detractors do, which makes sense. I've told you for a long time, why are you giving detractors so much time on your podcast? Example, how many times do you need to bring up my name in your content? All that does is just give me publicity. It just gives me attention, Phil. And yes, the guy was correct. Why we detract and we do these things is a couple reasons. One, to expose you, and two, to get a rise out of you. Most of the stuff that we talk about, for example, the T-shirt and the trademark and all that, most detractors don't give a shit. They really don't. They just want to get a rise out of you, Phil. And you constantly take the bait. You always take the bait. And that's why you're considered a low cow. That's the main reason why you're considered a low cow. Because a low cow is used to farm lows. And that's what you do, Phil. You constantly give that nice fertile ground to plant seeds. And you continuously bite on it. So that's what the guy was talking about. The other thing, too, is that someone talked about Street Fighter. Why do you have to be such an asshole? Essentially, why do you have to be an asshole to competitors? Why do you have to call them out? Why do you have to call them bitches? Why do you have to mock them and make fun of them? And of course, Phil tried to explain it away and say, "Oh, that's all a shtick. That's just me hyping up the game and trying to play a character." No, Phil, if you ever watch those streams, you could tell that you despise these people. You don't go out of your way and tell people to go, Minecraft themselves and go eat, crap out of with a spoon out of your orifice. You don't say those things, Phil, when you're just playing a character and you want to, spice things up. No, you say that when you vehemently hate someone. And people could tell that you just despise anyone that does better than you, that outdoes you, that plays Street Fighter better than you. You're just a jealous ass person. And I'll give you another example. Yesterday during the podcast, well, not the podcast, the day before, people were talking about the Street Fighter when he was playing Marvel vs. Capcom. People were talking about, hey, you should play against Viscon, or you should play against Justin Wong. And you decided to just trash talk Justin Wong for no fucking reason. Why? Because he's better than you. He is a better Street Fighter player than you. He is a better content creator than you. And he makes way more money than you, Phil. And those are what the suggestion box were addressing, those specific issues. Stop being so fucking toxic and stop being so butthurt. And you would probably go a long way. If you laughed off 90% of the shit that the detractors say, you'd do yourself good. Now, I don't want you to do that because, again, this is just content for me. I'm farming you for the lows. So every time you have a negative reaction, you explode on stream, I'm going to capture it, I'm going to make fun of you, and we're going to make memes and laugh at you, Phil. So anyway, let's keep going.
Then, first stream was DSP versus the internet on DSP Reacts. A great clip show of 3+ hours, a great variety of clips. Actually, there was a good amount of Warhammer stuff in there because, I played Warhammer Space Marine 2 recently. And I think, the lore there was kind of interesting and people had wanted to show me some more lore. And so they did. But it was other good variety of stuff as well. Overall, it was a great show. I had a great time with it. And we did hit the King's support goal. The King's Coffers, the new membership goal, or the new King's Coffer goal is working. And after that stream, we had hit 5 straight streams of hitting all the support, which I was very, very grateful for. Then on the late stream, it was the Retro React on DSP Throwback to Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut. And the good news is, we are now about 3/4 through the playthrough. This was the 3rd straight week we did it, and we ended it at part 28, and the playthrough's 38 parts. So we're on pace to basically finish it next week. In fact, taking a look at all the parts for next week, pretty much every single part's around 10 minutes long, besides the last, which is 16. So as long as we stay on pace and we don't really dilly-dally too much, I think we'll finish the Retro React to Resident Evil next week, and then we can move on to another horror game for October. Be cool, right? So, had a great time with that. The game is fun. We actually finished up with the whole, the area in the garden, went back to the mansion, had to fight all these tough hunters, got lost a little bit, ran in circles for a little while, but then eventually did get outside, did the water puzzle, got into the underground area, and all the frustration that comes with that. Now, we were down to the wire, but we did it. At the last moment, we did actually hit the King's streak yet again. The thing was, PayPal had kind of fooled me. Someone had done a large contribution, and they didn't send me an email about it. So because of that, I didn't know it had come through. And then it was getting really close to the end. And then someone had done like another tip, was like, hey, I sent you a bigger tip earlier tonight. You didn't shout it out. You might want to check. And I did. I was like, oh, crap. And then when I shouted that one out, that kept the momentum going for other people to contribute. And then boom, we did it. We hit the goal. So another streak. That's 6 straight streams where we're now hitting the new King's Coffers goal. That includes both super chats, super stickers, and tips. It's definitely working. The change is a positive one, and people are appreciating the fact that everything counts now. Okay. So it was a great day. Now, most of the content is not live. Right now, the only thing...
All right, so yeah, the Dent Streak is up to 6, right? Dent Streak version 3.0. God, that one's gonna die eventually. That may make it to what, maybe 8 or 10 or so on, and it'll die again. I love that Phil actually moved the goalpost when it came to the King's Coffer or the Dent Streak. So pathetic, man. He has no. So okay, he has nothing going for himself. His content is so pathetic and so boring, and he's so out of ideas that the only thing he can actually come up with is to figure out ways to calculate every single penny so that they can continue this Dent Streak. Which, of course, don't forget, this is we're on version 3 of the Dent Streak because it died 3 times. He's so desperate to continue this flow of incoming cash that he'll do anything for it. And that's going to be his main focus. It's not going to be new content. It's not going to be collabs. It's not going to be that at all. It's going to be ways to try to hype up the Dent Streak. That's what it is. And that's low-hanging fruit for Phil, of course, because you know how I say Phil doesn't put any work or research into anything. But when it comes to trying to extract money out of the Velcro wallets from his dents, he'll put time and effort into it. Well, minimum effort. And he'll make updates and changes, just like now, including super chats. You know what's going to happen? When the Dent Streak dies yet again, which it will soon, he's going to realize, okay, this isn't working. What else can I do? He's going to probably start trying to include super thanks. He may try to include membership bombs, member bombs. I can see him doing that. I can see him saying, you know what? I want to give my dents credit. So when anyone drops a member bomb of, say, 5 or more members, that's going to count to the Dent Streak. And, you know, usually a standard membership is, what, $4 for Phil? So if they drop a 5 bomb, that's 20, that's what, $20 or something like that, $24 or whatever. We're going to add that to the leaderboard, folks, and that's going to count to the King's Coffers. He's going to get that desperate. It's just a matter of time. And again, it's low effort. It's nothing new. It's nothing different. He's not altering the content. He's just modifying the rules. Of course, he's pushing the goalposts so that he can continue this Dent Streak. And it's quite fucking sad. It really is. It's pretty fucking pathetic when that's your main focus. The other thing that he's doing here is, I don't know if anyone noticed, but the man is just begging nonstop. There's this YouTube guy who is putting compilations together of him begging during the day, and I think one of them was like 42 begs. I used to do that before. Remember, I used to on like React days when support was slow, I would map out how many times he begs, and I think Phil's beg streak at that point was like 18 times or something like that in a given day. Well, he is fucking tripling that. He's not begging 18 or 20 times anymore. The man is begging 42 times. 42 times in a day. And yes, when you ask for views, when you ask for memberships, when you ask for super chats and tips, it doesn't matter how you beg. If you're asking for it, that's a beg. And he counts that towards the compilations. And I was dumbfounded when I heard that he's up to 40 plus begs in a given day. How much time are you spending talking about money? And that's just begs. That's not talking about money. That's not going through super chats and reading out the super chats, and it's not even including that. I'm wagering to say that of his whatever 7-hour day or 6-hour days of streaming, he probably spends maybe a good 2 hours talking about money. Dude, man, it's too much, Phil. It's too much. You're so fucking desperate and worried that the support's going to go away that you constantly have to talk about it. And you're begging more now than you used to beg during the bankruptcy, during when you had to pay your back taxes. You're begging more now than you were back then. And that's saying something. From a man who talks about how successful he is, how he talks about how everything is going good, how he's happy, how his support has been amazing, how his channel hit almost 1 million views, which it didn't, It hit about 670,000 views. You know, from a dude who's talking like this, you're awfully begging a lot more than you used to. And that's a good marker. If you're trying to figure out how successful Phil is doing, take a look at how many times he begs in a day. The more begging, the more desperate he gets. And I think what's happening too is that he's wasting this money. I mean, I got a WWE Champions video about to come out where, of course, he was playing WWE Champions this weekend and he dropped almost another grand on this game. And yeah, I mean, the money is up, but of course, the WWE spending is up as well. And that's not even including his second account that he's using on stream when he's doing those pulls. It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty pathetic for this dude. Anyway, that's all I have. He's going to talk about his videos that got 100 views that no one cares about. And, oh, also, the other thing real quick is the clip channel. Yeah, the clip channel isn't going to work, Phil. If you try the clip channel, what you're going to run into, it's going to get demonetized. It's going to get demonetized within a month or two because if you simply clip your stream and post it as a video and try to monetize it, it's going to get flagged with YouTube reuse content. And what happens is your channel is going to get demonetized. So even if you try to do a second channel, or no, I'm sorry, your fourth channel for clips, it's going to get demonetized. So go ahead and do that. Knock yourself out, but it'll just be a waste of time. Anyway, that's all I have, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.